Yo, we are never gonna see this console. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, once again, HMK, with the green screen and the microphone. Still tinkering with some stuff. I might replace this thing, but let me know in the comments. Anyways, it is looking like the Nintendo Switch 2, the Nintendo Switch's successor, the next Nintendo console, whatever it is probably not going to come out this year, even though I was kind of expecting it to come out this year, and a lot of other, insiders and leakers said, not this year, we're going to get it revealed, and it's going to come out later in the year. According to new reports that is being corroborated with VGC, Video Game Chronicle, they are saying that the Nintendo Switch 2, whatever it is, the next Nintendo Switch, the new Nintendo Switch Advance, is more likely going to come out Q1 2025. And a lot of people are like, oh man, we gotta wait this long. A lot of people are like, all right, good, that allows me to save some money, because there are a lot of things being said about the Switch 2, about the next Switch, in terms of potential price points, potential power, and then going off power, going into price point, a brand new NVIDIA chip, all these new things, if it's going to be LED or OLED or LCD screens, any of that jazz, what's going to be in the system, which could, go into a certain price point. People are like, okay, it gives us time to save money, even though we hardly know anything about it. We just know that it apparently exists. And according to these reports, apparently it's almost ready to go, if not ready for this year. The reason why is being apparently pushed back internally to 2025 is so that Nintendo can have a good launch lineup of games for the launch of the console itself and the year of launch. Apparently they're trying to replicate the success of what the Switch did back in 2017 to have the Switch 2 release Q1 around March 2025, have games ready for it at launch, and have a good amount of content for the system itself throughout the first year of launch, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, like, if you look at the first year for the Switch, it was banging. We got Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I'm talking about like the year, right? Splatoon 2, ARMS, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, among other games like third party and first party, Super Mario Odyssey. Like that, how do you have a brand new Zelda and Mario game and sequels to all these other great titles that are coming up and up? Because like Splatoon is everywhere in Japan right now. It was a crazy year. It was a wild year. Breath of the Wild year. Breath of the Wild came out. So apparently they're trying to replicate that success by putting together a good lineup of games, both first party and third party. So that makes a lot of sense. And it just makes me wonder, what kind of games can we expect going into the reveal release of the console? And if the console is going to be revealed this year, because apparently if it was ready for this year, you think they'll go ahead and reveal it like at the end of this year? There's no way, because apparently before this report, there were talks about the game system being revealed this year around March, like after the Nintendo Direct, that apparently is still coming. It's going to be a partner Direct. So they would just, have all the third-party games out of the way, the Switch's final lineup going into the year. But I mean, I feel like the Switch is still going to get support even after the Switch 2 comes out. And that they'll reveal the Switch 2 in March, and then they'll have it revealed, more games, more components, more stuff in June, and then finally being revealed holiday season, set for release holiday season. But it's looking like 2025 Q1. And I honestly thought, I'm not going to lie, I honestly thought that this system was going to be ready out and about for this year. But it looks like, we're going to have to wait a little bit more. But I mean, a lot of people are already getting sad at the idea. It's like, okay, we have to wait this long for the console. And other than Princess Peach Showtime, a Thousand Year Door remake, Luigi's Mansion 2 coming to the Switch, like, what other games are going to come out to the Switch this year? And I'm like, I wouldn't be worried, because I mean, if you haven't learned anything about Nintendo's recent strategy in recent years in terms of big releases, they have been way more comfortable in revealing a big game, like 2 or 3 couple of months before it actually releases. Like Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Like, look at that. That was crazy, right? So I feel like we do have a couple of more games under Nintendo's belt, and maybe, just maybe, kind of like Twilight Princess, Wind Waker HD, just bust them out this year. a Zelda release for this year. And then there's also the rumors about the Oracle games, getting remade in the style of, not in the style, but in the vein of Link's Awakening, which I will be down for. What's your favorite between the two, Ages or Seasons? Team Ages. Yeah. So it's looking like 2025. And what other games besides, what we know about? Because I honestly think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a cross-gen title. They might bring out definitive editions of games that you play better on Nintendo Switch 2. But then there's also the reports saying that if you were to take a game like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, whatever, and play it on the Switch 2, the Switch 2 would make it run, look, play better. Run better, like this. And I'm like, okay, I'm down. Breath of the Wild, 60 frames per second. It depends on the power of the system itself. A lot of people are saying that, it's comparable to that of PlayStation or PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro. And people are complaining about that. It's like, oh man, what a weak console. I'm like, if it's on the go and it's able to run things like God of War and Ghost of Tsushima, what's the problem? Man, all this console war nonsense when it comes to the power, fidelity race, and whatnot. And now Xbox and PlayStation are like having their own, I wouldn't say issues, but their own debacles. And now like Nintendo's apparently, this is all reported, it's not confirmed yet. Nintendo's like, okay, yeah, we were gonna put out the system this year, but we're gonna put it out for next year. So when it comes to that library, they can always bring a lot of awesome 3DS and Wii U games that haven't been on the Switch yet. Kid Icarus Uprising, Xenoblade Chronicles X, like those games I feel will have amazing new life over on the Switch. And then, Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D on the next Switch, or if they're gonna go out and do an Ocarina of Time play-by-play, word-for-word, new life type remake, kind of like how Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4 got the remakes. Can't really say Final Fantasy VII remake because the story is like, if you know, you know. But I would love it if Ocarina of Time got the type of remake that Resident Evil 2 and 4 did. I'm just like, more context, broader open sense. A lot of people are saying, you want to play like Breath of the Wild? It's like, no, because Breath of the Wild is Breath of the Wild, and Ocarina of Time is Ocarina of Time. Tears of the Kingdom is Tears of the Kingdom, and Majora's Mask is Majora's Mask. So we'll have to wait and see, because, like that's like the one thing I'm kind of like hyper focusing on when it comes to the advent of a new Switch is Zelda and Smash. And I have another video lined up for Smash. So like, keep your eyes peeled for that one. But how do you feel about 2025? I mean, like, I'm still playing a ton of games on the Switch. The Switch has games, a lot of games. And of course, I think they're still going to support the Switch going into the release and after the release of the next Switch, especially if it's going to be backwards compatible and, cross-platform. If you could play a game on the Switch, you could play the game on the Switch too. And hopefully they'll release some games that, like, if you could play this on Switch 2 and you could play it on regular Switch. But I mean, like, it'll be better to play on Switch 2. They really have to make it clear on what makes the Switch 2 different from the Switch if they're going to go in that same line, besides that of better graphics, more memory, or anything like that, better processing power. I would like to see. But let me know what you think about 2025 in the comment section below, and if you believe that it's going to happen, because I think, it makes a lot of sense. It does. It really does. And I would rather have Nintendo come out swinging with a bunch of awesome games instead of drip feeding and going through what we did with the Wii U. Never again. Never again. So, until then, this has been your boy HMK, and I'll check you guys later.